Okay.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Blab. Share your message. I'm Michelle Aubin. I am a communication and visibility coach for healers and visionaries and coaches, helping people find opportunities to get a wider audience. And one of the things I love to do is interview experts on how we can all grow our biz. And one of the wonderful women I met recently who's an expert helping new coaches reach high-end clients is Deb MacMillan. So welcome, Deb. Hi.
Hi from the UK.
Hi from the UK across the pond.
Yeah, across the pond. Very small pond.
Yeah, I can see you from my house if I look out the right window.
I can just wave to you.
Say that again?
I can just wave to you.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
And I want to welcome everyone that has joined us. And I caught some of you by name earlier, but the thing has scrolled up. So I see Shannon and I see Chris, and I'm not sure how to get access to the other ones. I forgot. Everyone has joined us. Welcome. And what we're going to do, the way we're going to structure this today, I want this to be an opportunity for you to jump in the hot seat and get coaching from Deb. This is your opportunity, and this is your reward for showing up. There will be a recording, but you guys get to ask whatever questions you want. So yay for you. And but I'm going to ask a few questions of Deb just to kind of set the tone and talk about the topic today and get us all focused on high-end clients. So Deb, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself and about the work that you do with your clients and helping them find high-end clients?
Hi, thanks, Michelle. Yeah, my name's Deb MacMillan, and I live in the UK, and I'm an intuitive breakthrough coach, and I empower new coaches to fearlessly grow their businesses. So my niche is working with new coaches who are looking to get their first paying clients, and I help them develop strategies, develop high-end packages, and create the right mindset to go out and find their clients. I've got 2 Facebook groups. I've got one which is called the Intuitive Business Hive, which I started back in July, and we're rocking up to about 400 members, which is fantastic. And then I've got a much smaller, intimate group called High-End Clients, Even as a New Coach. And that is a nice little intimate group. We've got about nearly 50 members, and that's probably about only 2 weeks old. And that's a nurture group. I am really passionate about helping new coaches get visible on Facebook, get comfortable with who their niche is, get comfortable with what the problems their niche has, and to develop high-end packages to really provide a high-end service and create some impact. So that's my niche. I chose the niche because when I first started, there didn't seem to be a coach to really help me on my way. And so I decided that actually this would be a fantastic niche to work with. And I'm really loving it. And obviously with the beauty of the internet, I can talk to people wherever. So the US and Canada and Australia, you know, the world's your oyster. And I'm really excited to be on Blab. I mean, I think Facebook's fantastic, but, you know, to be live and talking to people, I think is just a wonderful way to kind of get your message out and to share what you know and to help everyone create successful businesses. So,
yeah, I'm excited about today's Blab. No, this is a great introduction. I want to welcome Cisco, if I get the name right, I hope I get the name right, Mikhail and Halcyon Chepvilio. So sorry if I didn't get the name right. I just want to welcome everyone who's joined us while Deb was introducing herself, and you're very welcome here. And this is our first Blab, and we are both very excited about it because, like Deb said, Facebook is great. This is a different tool, and I tend to be someone, I really love discussion. I don't really like kind of talking into a vacuum. And sometimes I feel like when I try to connect with people, it's like a one-way thing. So I really am looking forward to today and hoping you all can get some real value from connecting with Deb. So that was a great introduction, Deb. So do you also work with, just out of curiosity, do you also work with healers, or is it just coaches?
I'm just working with coaches at the moment, but I'm looking to work with healers as well. It's just that coaches are kind of people that I feel are my really good niche at the moment, but it kind of does spread out into healers because healers work on a one-to-one basis. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of open to healers as well.
My niche, I overlap because there's sometimes a gray line between coach and healer, but I just wanted to check in with you about that in case there are people on the line or on the blab who might not be a coach per se. I think they could still get some value from today.
Oh, totally, because a lot of what I share, the kind of framework that I share with my clients is something that you can use as a healer as well. So actually, it's not just for coach, it is for healers as well. So
great.
Close that up.
And welcome, Niall. I think I'm saying that, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thanks for joining us. So, okay, I'm going to dive into one of my questions for you. How do you define a high-end client? What does that even mean?
That's a really good question. And I would say a high-end client is a client who is working with you on a sustained level. So it would be over a program where they might be working for, say, 6 weeks or 3 months or 6 months, and they are paying, I would say, over about $2,000 or $3,000, something like that. I mean, there are a lot of coaches and healers that may start out by charging by the hour, which is certainly my experience. That's what I did when I first started. And I found that it was kind of limiting because when you charge less, you have people who are less committed to your program and to your service. But by setting yourself up as a high-end coach and charging more, you will get customers that are more committed to change, more committed to getting their problems resolved. And so for me, a high-end client is someone who is at that stage where they're really ready to commit to their transformation, and they're willing to commit spiritually, emotionally, and financially. Whereas a lot of the callers might recognize, if they've been in that stage or they're still in that stage where you charge by the hour, you have people that are less committed to their transformation, and also what kind of transformation can you create if you're just doing a one-off, or if you're just doing a series of two. Certainly when it comes to coaching and with healing, I would imagine that you need to be providing a service over weeks, if not months, in order to see that transformation. And when you provide really fantastic outcomes, then there has to be a commitment from the client to kind of pay for that. And it's priceless, some of the transformations that we create. So we charge for it.
So you're talking about actually two issues, and I want to welcome also Nicolene, Apps Soft Corner, and Mikhail just said charging more is fantastic. So it sounds like you have experience with charging, creating different packages and charging more. But what I wanted to highlight, Deb, is that, and thank you for the props.
Those props, I've not seen those. I wondered what.
You can go to the bottom of when someone says something that you like, you can hit the little hands and it sends little prop signals like cheering you on. It's fun. But it sounds like you're talking about two benefits to, if I could tease that out for a moment, to raising your prices. And one of them is that you are able to deliver a higher quality transformation to people. Welcome, Kyle. And that the other one is that you're also you're also selecting your it's almost like a filtering process where you get clients who are more uh, able to commit to your service.
Totally.
And I just want to say, Kyle, you're requesting to come in. We're gonna ask people to come in and stay where you are. I'll let you in a moment. We're gonna just wrap up with Deb after a little bit of question and answer here, so we kind of set the tone for the discussion. And I'll be thrilled to let you in the seat in a moment. But I just wanted to give Deb an opportunity to respond to that. Am I picking up on those two pieces accurately, Deb, of the benefits?
Totally, yeah. The benefits are that you get someone who is committed to their transformation. I mean, I certainly know that from my point of view, when I've invested in programs that are high end, it's because I want to have those outcomes. I am really serious about creating a business that I want, and to be getting clients that I want, and to be making transformations. And I think that's how we operate as human beings, that actually when we commit financially, we want to get the most out of that program. And so by creating high-end programs for your clients, you're going to get a better quality customer coming on board. And the opposite is true. If you charge less, you don't get the same kind of clients. So you kind of have to ask yourself, who do I want to serve? And I think this is a fantastic opportunity that we find ourselves, today, is that there is a whole raft of people out there who are desperate for coaches, and we can help them make transformations. And we can do that in a very high-end service by providing fantastic outcomes. And so you do get a better quality client who is ready for their transformation. They're desperate to get going.
We already have a few questions, Deb, and I wonder if we could just jump in with letting someone into the seat, or if there's anything else you want to share first. We have, I'm just going to say Soft Corner, because it's Soft Corner has asked a few questions. Do you want to jump into the seat, make a request, and I'll let you in, and you can talk to Deb directly? The question was, when you make a product which has the same feature, one which is already in the market, how can you convince a client to like your product? It's a great question.
Yeah, well, I think
just want to see if you want to. You have to request in order for me to let you in. If you want to come on video and speak to Deb, we'd love to have you. Speak directly, not through me. This is your chance, so you have to request that. Okay. So, all right, Deb, what, when you work with clients, what problems do people run into when they set this kind of thing up in their practice?
When they start,
what have you seen?
Yeah, I think number one, a lot of coaches can feel quite overwhelmed by Facebook, and just as that kind of question has alluded to, that on the face of it, it might seem there are a lot of coaches out there with very similar programs. But the thing is, when you actually get someone on a call, get a client on a call, you'll actually find that it's as well about the product as it is about the person who's facilitating that. So we actually buy from people. And I know when I've been choosing coaches myself, because every coach has a coach, I will go on different discovery calls, and they may have similar products. But at the end of the day, I want to work with someone that really resonates with me, that gets me, that I feel I can trust, know, and like, who has an understanding, who inspires me. And that's what's really important. So, you may find coaches with similar products, but we're actually dealing with people. And so I would recommend, if you're looking for a coach, to try out some different coaches and go on discovery calls, and you will find there's a wealth of difference. Although the products may seem very similar, you need to have a conversation with that coach to find out who they are. And I think that's the kind of deciding factor, is the person themselves.
Well, I have found actually what you said to be really true. This particular theme we're talking about today, there are a couple of coaches in the market that are known for helping people create high-end packages. So, but everybody has their own take on things. I want to read, Mikhail has a question. What is your price building built on? Do you look at others' prices in the market, or do you just search for a market where people can pay more? That's a great question. Do you want to come into the hot seat, or the coaching seat, we'll call it, Mikhail? We'd love to have you join in on the video, and
We've got a hot seat here. We're just waiting for someone to jump in.
We wore our pearls today. You know, listen, we this is a very special occasion, so you know, I don't want that to go to waste.
I like what Helena said. At the end of the day, we have to like who we work with, and that's so true. And it sounds quite basic, but the thing is, you've got to like your coach. And the same thing is, you've got to like the people that you coach, your coachees, because you're going to spend 3 months with them, or 6 months with them, or even a year. And you've got to really like them, so that when you show up, you get the best out of those sessions. So I totally agree with Helena on that. The question that Mikhail said about what is your price building built on, that's built on the outcomes that you provide with your program. So I would suggest to Mikhail, when you put a package together, make sure that you are addressing all of the problems that your clients have. And when you've got a list of all the problems and the issues that your clients have, you want to create a list of outcomes and know that you can deliver those outcomes with your client, because that's actually what the client is paying for. They're paying for the outcomes. They want to know, okay, I'm going to give you $3,000. What are you going to promise me that I will get at the end of it? And that's based on what that price is on. I also do advise my coachees to think about how long they want to work with their clients and how many clients they feel that they can serve per month. And you can kind of come up with an equation when you do the maths, but also you need to have a look at the outcomes as well. That's fundamental, because that's what your client's going to buy. It's based on the outcomes. I hope that answers the question. Okay, Mikhail said thank you. I think I answered that one.
Yeah, and welcome Tony, and welcome Mindset Coach. Just joining our discussion, we're talking about the process. Hello, everybody. The process of working with high-end clients and creating packages for them. And we've gone through a couple of questions. I know if you're just joining us, it might feel like you're coming into the middle of this, but we really, we're at the point where we've sort of set the groundwork a little bit and really want to open it up to people who would like to speak directly to Deb. Deb works with new coaches and helps them create their packages. And so anybody who wants to, this is your chance. This is your chance to jump into the hot seat. And we wore our pearls today as a special occasion. So does anybody who is on this call offer packages to high-end clients now and would like to share their experience with others? Anybody do that? Maybe you're already a coach who does that. Or if you have tried to and come up against a challenge, tell us what your challenge might have been with that. And I'm gonna, you know, I have the ability to just keep talking, so I'm gonna talk until somebody decides. I'll ask you questions until someone decides they want to jump in with us. But here, I think Mikhail kind of alluded to this, or someone else did. Someone said, how do you convince a client to like your product? Okay, Coach My Dreams. Not sure how to use this thing. I think what you have to do is you have to go over to the open seat, click on that, and then we can let you in. And we're figuring it out too. But I think you have to request, welcome, by the way, and request to be let in, and we'll let you on video if you want to talk to Deb directly. But this idea that how do I convince people that I have a package that is worth a high-end price?
Well, I think the key thing here is that you need to be very familiar with your niche. So whether you're a healer or whether you're a coach or whatever you do in terms of your practice, you need to decide who you're going to serve. So who are going to be your clients? And you need to be very familiar with your niche. You need to be very familiar with what their problems are, what are their challenges that they face. And when you understand what their challenges and their problems are, then you create your package and your outcomes that will address those problems so that this is of real value to your client. And if you don't know what your niche's problems are, what the challenges are they face, then I would suggest that you can perhaps do some research. You can just put posting out on Facebook and invite some of the people that are your ideal clients to come on a mini assessment with you just for 20 minutes and just have some questions prepared to ask them to really drill down and really find out what kind of keeps them awake at night, what's stopping them from moving forward, what is slowing them down from reaching their goals in terms of their business, so that you become really familiar with their problems. And then your package is going to be created in answer to the problems that they have. Your package resolves their answers, and if the outcomes are really do answer the problems that the client has, then they are going to really think really hard about purchasing your product. They're going to want it because if it takes away their problems, then they are going to make that incredible transformation. And the way that you convince them is that you need to invite them onto either a discovery call or a clarity call or a strategy call and talk to them, really listen to them, really listen hard and find out exactly how they're experiencing the problems either in their business or in their life if it's life coaching. And I always encourage my coachees to make lots of notes. So when you're on a discovery call and you're talking to your potential client, make lots of notes so that you really understand how they view their world and the problems that they have, and even down to the language that they use, so that you can then make some recommendations. I always make some recommendations in the discovery calls that I have to help them move forward and to push past the barriers that they have, and then get them on the discovery call to share with you what they would really like either their life to be like or their business to be like. So you allow them to rise up in terms of their vibration and rise up into to their greatness, so that you can then share with them your package. You can say, you know, listen, I think I've got a perfect package that will help resolve your problems and help you achieve the business or the life that you desire. But you have to do that hand on heart when you totally believe it. I mean, I would say you have to resonate with that person on the call, and you have to truly believe that you can serve them. And then you can talk to them about your package, and you can share with them, having created all of those wonderful outcomes, you can share the outcomes with that caller on the phone, who's your potential client. And by the end of that conversation, hopefully they're going to be eating out the palm of your hand. I've just seen a question here from Helena. Do you adjust your program per client?
Yes, so before we jump in, I want to welcome Jonathan, and I want to invite Helena. Do you want to come in to the seat and welcome Michael? Helena, do you want to come in and speak to Deb? And she can, here we go. I'll let you in. Thank you. let's see. That way you get to speak to her directly.
Spot, because
So,
I'm using the
Hi.
hi.
You're walking around.
Yeah, I just have to find the place
where's your
because there was
pearl?
What is it, Deb?
I said, where's your pearls?
yeah.
Well, welcome, Elena. You asked a question. Okay.
Yeah, I asked the question because if you adjust program per client, because from what I have, right, I find my programs, it's my coaching calls, my coaching, I have a month usually for now. They usually adjust it per client. It's not dissimilar things.
Mm.
So I don't have that, one thing which I'm going to be, like doing for everybody. So they slightly adjusted. The structure is the same, but, the problems we work is different.
Yeah, I think when you get your clients onto a discovery call, you can share the range of client outcomes that you've created. And then when you set the program up, right at the beginning of the program, that you can really talk to them and really find out what it is they want to achieve in terms of their program. And then you can adjust things slightly. You can customize it to suit the clients. And that's what I would suggest that you do. When I look at some of the clients that I've got, they're all going at different paces. And some of them are doing slightly different things because they've got different niches. Some might want to focus on doing, say, Periscope, or some might want to focus on doing videos or creating ebooks. So there are some differences between the clients. And the beauty of the high end is that you can customize that towards what they want and where they're going to. So yes, I would do that. I mean, I'd keep the framework the same. If you
the structure the same, but just the subtitles maybe in there. Different.
Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Because for me, I've seen it. The people they have like high end. I've tried it, but say going back to the previous question, I don't like the person at all. Right? The energy was so negative. I would not pay you $10 to be in the program. Never mind $4,000. But the way how you said, right? So in the end of the day, you have to like the person. That's what it comes to, right? Because it's a long-term relationship. And you have to be able to create the results at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think with your clients, you've got to really like them because you are going to be with them on the long distance. It's a long haul. And some of the work really goes quite deep as well on a significant level, especially if there's some kind of emotional problems, according to the area that you're in. You don't really want to get onto a program with a client that you just don't feel that synergy.
Yeah.
I liken it to dating, and I think that you've got to have that thing, that kind of chemistry and that connection, and you can really feel it on site. You can really feel once you've got that connection. You think, great, if I've got that, I can really get a sense of who they are and really help them move forward. Because morally as coaches, that's what we really want the best for them. We really want to help them, and liking them is an absolute fundamental right at the beginning. So yeah, big yes to that one.
I just want to jump in and welcome MBTI, Eduardo, Renee, and Only You Forever. Welcome. We're talking with Deb MacMillan about how to enroll high-end clients. So, but this idea of liking your clients, also for me, I just recently in the past few months changed my niche, and you also have to love your niche. And sometimes we start out with an offering, and then we have to really. This is the thing, as entrepreneurs, we get to create it. We have to put up with so much. We have to have a lot of fortitude. We have to have a lot of grit. But the reward is we get to pick who we work with. We get to pick. We have to figure out who we really enjoy.
Yeah, you've got to like your niche. I mean, I have changed my niche slightly, just because I felt that new coaches, it was kind of close to my heart. I felt I really wanted to help them. And, why would you choose a niche that you don't particularly like? And if you like it to start off with, and then you find you get to a point where actually I'm not liking this, or change it, you're in the driving seat with your own business. There's no one telling you what to do.
That's
You
right.
create every aspect of it. So you want to be choosing the niche that you like. You want to be choosing the coachees that you like, the program, and a coach if you're going to choose a coach. You get to choose all of those things, and that's, you know, the fantastic position to be in. And why have it any other way? And, you know, being self-employed is, you need a lot of energy to kind of propel yourself forward, to kind of cope with the kind of great bits and the difficult bits. So actually making those choices and making the right choices for yourself becomes fundamentally very important. Because I think it's really important to keep your energy very high, so that you cope with all the rigors of being self-employed, shall we say.
So, Helena, am I saying your name correctly?
Correctly, it's correct.
Helena,
yeah.
What is your niche, and who do you work with?
I started to work on, I started to help people. Right? I spoke with yesterday. And I narrowed to the relations, right? I narrowed to the relationship. Either it's like between you and you, or it's between your partners. It's a business, right? It doesn't matter. So that's what the bottom line, it's a relationship for mine. And as I started, say, August, what I was going to ask, if Deb, if you have this client who drops the program in the middle of the program, who's not willing to work, so what do you do?
They're not willing to work.
Yeah, they say they have to stop, they have to do, because you can see sometimes the energy, it goes, up and it goes down in the middle of the program.
I think you have to have a serious conversation with them and check, sound them out, ask them how committed they are to their program, and have that serious conversation with them and tell them exactly how you feel. That's a chance for you to be very transparent and, call them out, say, this is about your investment, and I want you to commit to this program, and, perhaps give them a bit of a deadline that they need to do X, Y, and Z by a certain date, and get them to agree to that. Because admittedly, and even with coaching, it can be a bit of rocky road where some people power forward and then the energy dips off. And it might be other circumstances that are going on outside of their life that are impacting on them. And so you need to check that out, and just have that serious conversation. And if it kind of becomes protracted, then you might have to say, listen, I don't think this is working out at all, and we're going to have to kind of close this because, at the outset you said you wanted to achieve X, Y, and Z, but really, you're not doing anything, you're not committing to it. And as a coach, morally, I think this is wrong. And it hasn't happened to me, but I would want to have that conversation first and find out what's going on for them, because there could be other things going on impacting on them. You need to give them the opportunity to put things right. And if someone's spending quite a lot of money on high-end package, I think the chances are that they are going to commit to the program because they invest in it. That's the beauty of it. But that's how I'd approach it. If something happened midway, you'd really have to get serious and have a conversation with them.
It also occurs to me that part of the transformation we offer when we work with our clients in a long-term way is that built in, there's going to be some struggle, because all of us, whenever we up level, there will come a point where there's something challenging, and maybe we can work with our clients around that and say, this is normal to feel this way and to have a struggle a couple of months in, because this is a big change in life. Whatever you're working on is a big transformation. And to expect it to all be easy is not really realistic.
No, and, as a coach, you don't expect them to like you all the time, because sometimes you have to challenge them. If you feel that they are not doing what they should be doing in order to get from A to B, then you need to challenge them on that, and that is part of the coaching process. You, yeah, as you say, it isn't necessarily going to be an easy road. There are going to be difficult times, and that's part of the coaching process. You have to coach them around that, and then remind them of why they signed up for it, and what do they want, and what are the difficulties. So yeah, it's sometimes it's difficult.
I just want to welcome Greg, who joined in. And I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Is anybody else getting that?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I got that echoing. Yeah.
I don't know why. But, hello, Deb. Deb T.
Oh, Deb Shepherd.
And we also got this is odd, the feedback. We got a question from Chris, and maybe Chris wants to come in and sit in one of the seats. Okay, echo often occurs when people don't use headphones. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well,
me.
Yeah. Did Chris, do you want to come in and speak to Deb about your question, or just have her answer it? You're welcome to join in on the chat.
There was one question before about the client's discontinued service, right?
Right. I'm just inviting Chris if Chris wants to come in and join in the conversation. It's a great question. Firewall. Okay. Well, it prevents you from coming in. Okay. So the question is for people that maybe don't have video listening to this recording. The question is, do you ever recommend clients to try another coach or discontinue service when things aren't working out with a client, as in when they refuse to change or mismatch personalities? It actually ties in with your question, Elena. So
yeah,
it is a good question. It's
I would recommend, if I know there's somebody who I really know and they're able to help to that particular, I would do it, right? Like, I don't have that ego that would prevent me from holding back, because I know my possibilities, like my abilities to help. If I'm not able to, if I know somebody who does, why not? It's like, just, for me, it's a happy client in the end who is important, right? It's not my ego to be filled, with the, I finished the program or whichever, it comes to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to agree with that. I mean, that hasn't happened to me, but yeah, I would recommend another coach, particularly a coach that I'm really familiar with, rather than continuing to work with somebody when you've actually, they're not gaining any ground, and it's to do with a mismatch of personalities. Yeah, I think that's morally right to do that. You're not doing anyone a service by trying to force it and trying to make it work. So yeah, I would definitely recommend them to somebody else.
Welcome, Mitch, to the lab. Nice to have you here. We're talking about enrolling high-end clients. Okay, so do you have any situation, Helena, where you run into client objections or any other issues with enrollment?
I was gonna ask Deb, right? I just have the question in my mind, right? Where you make that transition? Then you said, okay, so my price is going up, and basically, because you can charge for the same service low price, people can get value, and you can raise them, and they can just move slowly to the high end client, right? Where you find that thin line which you said, I'm gonna cross it.
Sorry, can you say that again, Helena? Sorry.
Yeah, when you make the transition from program, you start to charging more for the program. When you made that transition, when you said, what, that's it, I'm moving, my price is now up. How you define that process?
When you move your prices up?
Yeah.
How do you make that? Do you mean from where you are now to put your prices up?
Yeah, when you started, I said you can get the same service for lower prices, but you increase your clientele quantity you have per month. When you start to charge more per programs.
I think we come back to the client outcomes to make sure that you have all of those in place, and that you have explored all of the problems that your clients have, and make sure that you have a really broad list of client outcomes, so that you are matching the results with the value that the client's going to get out of it. And that means that you're charging more money for it, because the client is going to get better results at the end of the day. So that investment matches the value, and that's how I'd make that transition. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you mentioned that before. I think I'm just recalling that you have to see what time you spend, right? A month. And then you have to calculate it backwards, kind of, right? So what you want to get,
Yes.
because you have to cover your expenses in your time, right? So you cannot dedicate the whole time and just get like nothing paid, right? Because
Yeah.
it's going to defeat the...
I would decide how many clients you feel that you can serve a month.
Yep.
And if they're high-end clients and you're working on a deep and significant level, then you don't want to be packing your week out back to clients, because there are other things that you need to be doing. So you work out how many clients you want to serve, and then you work out how much you want to earn, and then you come up with an equation, which will be your high-end package. And then you make sure that your high-end package really addresses the problems and challenges that your niche or your clients have. And that's how you do it.
I want to say welcome to the Success Coach and to Divya. Welcome to our conversation. Debs, I just want to piggyback on this question about how to set up a price, and you talked about this formula, but do you take into account what other coaches are charging for equivalent packages, or do you just go by what you decide is your value based on the outcome you provide?
I think I do a bit of both. I also do a bit of research to see what other coaches are charging. Not that I'm going to follow what they do, but I have a look, because you do a bit of research to see what's out there. But I also have a look at the value of the actual package that I'm offering. And I would, suggest to everybody that you do your research and have a look what other people are charging, and then have a look at what you're offering, and then do that equation and then come up with a price. And you'll know intuitively, I was working intuitively, and just found out for yourself if you think that's the right price to charge.
Okay. Deb T had written a note that she charges on a sliding scale based on income. So Deb, do you want to come in and join the conversation, and talk about your way of approaching this?
Your thoughts on positioning yourself as the premium provider, as opposed to building a reputation as one of the least expensive providers.
Okay, and that's a more recent comment from Mitch. So either of you, if you want to join in, you're welcome to join the conversation. I think pricing is a really great topic, because a lot of people, just from what I've noticed in the different groups, a lot of people struggle with this idea of pricing and how to charge, and when to up level.
Comes to lack of self-belief as well. That's something which we haven't actually talked about, but at the very, very beginning, you've got to believe that you can help your clients make an impact, and it starts with that. And you have to do that mindset piece of work. You have to know, you have to be passionate about it, number one. You have to have knowledge in that area, have to have experience in that area. You have to understand your clients really well. You have to understand the problems that they face. And you have to totally believe that this is what you want to do. And when you're in that space, you know that the work that you do is priceless. It's totally priceless, providing transformations to the clients that we work with. And so, what we call a high-end package actually is kind of worth it many, many times over. So I think some people do struggle with that money block, feeling that they can't charge that amount. But you kind of need to work on your self-belief. I mean, if you need to, get yourself a mindset coach and go and do that work first of all, before you start putting yourself out there, if that's providing you with that mental block and stopping you from serving the clients that you need to serve. But self-belief is fundamental.
You're talking about, I want to tease out a few things you're talking about, though, because it isn't just that you can just say, well, I want to charge $5,000 or $10,000 for this package. You mentioned being able to deliver an outcome. Yeah. So, and having experience in that. So that's also credibility.
It is.
What do you say to someone that's maybe just starting out? who doesn't feel they have the credibility, how do they work with that? How do they build credibility?
I think it's about your intention. You talk about credibility, but I think it's about your intention to serve your clients, your intention to help them. I mean, in terms of, say, if you look at the program that I offer, I mean, I know that the strategies that I provide work. And so it's my intention is to help my clients get their first paying clients. It's my intention to help them get more visible. My intention is to help them get overwhelmed. So it's understanding the value what you offer. And I think that gives you credibility. It's understanding your clients and what the problem is and how you're going to tackle it. So once you've done that piece of work, then that kind of gives you your credibility.
Excellent. That's just belief in what, like, I mean, they really can't say more than that. When you feel like you offer a great product, when you feel like you offer a great outcome, there's really no arguing with it. Then it's just a matter of finding people that resonate with that.
I mean, there are plenty of people out there. And when I get my clients to put themselves out there in Facebook, you have to put yourself out there to make yourself visible so that your clients can find you. You have to show them what you know in terms of their struggles, their niche. You have to give them value. You have to give them tips so that they understand that you are an expert in your field. You have a great understanding of the problems that they have and you know how to resolve them. And so by being present in Facebook and being consistent in terms of the value you offer and the knowledge that you're willing to share, you are going to start building relationships with people in the Facebook groups where you are. And you have to put yourself out there on a consistent basis. You have to know your niche really well. You have to understand what their problems are. You have to know whether Facebook groups they're in, and then you have to show up and share your stuff, and then invite people into conversation. And that's how you build up your tribe. That's how you find your people. That's how you develop conversation and connection with your clients. That's what it's all about. It's like us having a conversation now. That's what you do to find your high-end clients.
I also want to acknowledge MBTI says word of mouth helps, getting reference and recommendations for other clients. That's definitely very powerful. And speaking with confidence helps show you credibility too. Storytelling seems to work well. Now that's an intriguing idea, the whole idea of storytelling in terms of telling the story of your outcomes. I imagine that's what you're speaking to. Do you want to jump in and join us and contribute to the conversation? We'd love to have you.
We have a spare seat.
We have a spare seat just waiting for you. I don't know if you were the one that had the firewall issue, so maybe that was the person that can't jump in because of the firewall. But that's a great, I would love to hear more. Type in more what you mean about storytelling. Toastmasters, 4 C's of storytelling: context, conflict, climax, and conclusion. Well, there you go. That's it in a nutshell. Just that would be a intriguing blab all by itself. The 4 C's.
And I think what you do now, right? This one helps too, right? The people who starting, right, to be participate in kind of conversation like this. Well, there's lots of radio shows, right? So you can go and participate because it's easy even to come say, I want to be, a guest on your radio show. Or there's some like internet TVs, right? It's very popular. I know in Toronto they are, right? So if you find that's what you do, say, I want to be a guest, and nobody will tell you no, right? And that's how you.
This is what I do. It's a segue. This is actually my area of expertise, is helping people find those podcast interviews. And it's a great segue. I'm not, necessarily here to promote my package, but I do help people. If you are looking for that visibility, I have a Facebook group called Share Your Message. Anyone can join us over there. And anyone who's interested in getting the word out and you want to start booking those interviews, send me a message and I'll have a conversation with you about that. So welcome, Samir. Welcome, Hillary. Sam, is that Sam 1? Welcome. Hi. We're talking about how to get high-end clients and packages. And we're just at 10 minutes of the hour. So, this is your chance to hop into one of the seats. You're welcome, Hillary. And talk to Deb MacMillan about your coaching practice and how if you have any questions for her, now's the time. Now's the time to get some coaching. And this has been a great conversation.
For many coaches, right, I would suggest to start to write the book. You can plan the book, right? You can find the title, everything. You don't have to write it right on, but it puts you to the different, level when you are writing the book. And eventually you will start to write the book.
You're right. I just want to say Sam is asking what we're talking about. So just to fill people in who've just joined us, we're talking about for coaches who want to create high-end packages for their clients and how to build that into your practice. And Deb MacMillan works with new coaches on doing that. And to just touch base with you again, Helena, and what you were talking about, I just also want to put out there one thing I come across a lot is people that say, well, I can't go out and find interviews until my book is finished. And to anyone listening, don't wait until it's finished.
Don't have to.
This is right. You're exactly right. I want you to start thinking about promoting it while you're writing it, or promote your website while you're building it, or promote your podcast while you're developing it, because for two reasons. We're getting off of Deb's topic, but just don't wait. Build the buzz. Build the buzz. That's what you need to do. Build the buzz. I'm going to do more podcasts on that topic. I don't want to take time away from this one. So, if you tell a story, MBTI, if you tell a story about how a past client had an issue or conflict and how it was overcome to create a success in their life and business that should work well and attracting clients, great point. It's often more about connecting with their heart, their feelings, rather than their brain. So true. So well said. If I could give you props, I would. Michael Haynes, welcome for joining us. So I'm so glad you're participating, even though the firewall is preventing you from coming on, and contributing in the chat is wonderful. So this idea of connecting with the heart rather than the brain or just logic through storytelling and
I had the client I was sharing with Deb another day, right? I had the lady which was discovery call, and I know her for some time, about a year ago. So when I put my offer in the Facebook, she jumped in. She said, I want to book it. And she said, I have a year per your this. I have a business coach. I didn't ask her how often it was, but she said a year lands, right? And she said, what do we cover with her in an hour time by using this, talk to the heart, talk to the soul, not to the brain. So she said she got more value, and then she has during that being with the business coach, right? So I'm not saying that is, but sometimes you have to feel it how much you give to the client. So you have to sometimes dig it more, and maybe that's the option when you have to refer to another coach, right? When you see you don't get into the result, when you're not talking to the deeply to the client, so you have to refer to somebody else. Then I think, right? So people don't have to be, ego driven so they have to be just, realistically seeing the picture, right? If you're not helping, they should not be continue for a year long, right? Where you don't see the results.
Welcome, Michael.
Hello, how are you doing, lovely ladies?
Great. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And did you have a question or something you wanted to add to the conversation?
I love the conversation. I had something I really wanted to ask. How do you connect to the heart? I have a really deep story. I think it's me. I have a challenge where a lot of people consider it a disability, but I call it a challenge. Uh, Actually, I consider it a gift that I'm giving to the world. Um, no, I'm, I, I have I do, I, I, do- I'm a public speaker. Are you people understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, you're saying you consider your challenge is that you consider your disability a gift. Is that, did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so what is your challenge is in conveying that to people?
Uh, no, let me explain
Okay.
my challenge. I have cerebral palsy. Okay, now let me tell you a story. Okay, about 10 years ago, a, a friend of mine and I went up to the pub. I like the tip of the beer. So, my friend and I, well, when they walk out, they are like I'm drunk. So, I, I walked into this pub. The waiter obviously saw me. So, he had, uh, my friend and I sat on two couches opposite each other so we could speak to each other. The waiter walked over to the table and he said, looking directly at my friend, he said, what would you like? And what would he like? Completely ignoring me. How do you think that made me feel? Not very good. It made me feel like that big. You know, no, I, at that point, I decided to create a course that would teach people how do we interact with people like me. A course that would just out of curiosity.
Did you, okay, I want to make sure I understood you. You created a course that would help people learn how to interact with people like you. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That,
And do you
that,
have a, I'm sorry to cut you off, but did you have a question for Deb?
yeah.
Okay.
So, how do I get that course into the hands of people? I, I have I have, I have a website. It's michaeldhaines.com. Now, how can I get the word out?
How does he get the word out
For his course.
for his course? Yes.
Course. Does he? Who does the course speak to? Who is it for?
It speaks to people in the service area.
In the service area?
Yeah.
Service. Any specific service area?
All areas of the service areas. Everything from bartenders, waitresses, all the way up to the CEOs of major corporations.
It's probably a little bit out of my area of expertise because I tend to use Facebook a lot. And I think what you're saying, it sounds more corporate, sounds a bit more like LinkedIn. What you think, Michelle, but it doesn't sound so much like Facebook to me. So I think...
No, I mean, I think it comes down to any, you have to find where your target market is.
Mm.
And if they are corporate or CEOs, they tend to hang around LinkedIn a lot, or you could even approach people directly, look up corporations directly and connect with, the head honchos there. That's my thinking.
Share some of the value out of the course in some posts in LinkedIn so that you give people a bit of a flavor of what the course offers and how it resolves the problems that your customers have, because that would be their reason for buying the course or or signing up for it.
No, I do public speaking as well.
Okay, well, that's a great way to reach people. I also think you need to, if I could, and Deb, you could speak to this, you need to think about what is the benefit to them. Is this going to help them with employee retention? Is this going to help them with maximizing their profits, or make it a tangible outcome? What is the benefit to them? Not just like a feel-good thing.
Yeah, you need to really explore all of the outcomes for going on to the course and create, at least a list of about 20, so that when you're promoting the course on LinkedIn, you're referring to the results that the clients will get as a result of coming onto the course, so that you're giving a superb amount of value for whatever the cost is.
It also will enhance customer retention.
Yeah,
customer retention. That's a very concrete benefit. Yeah. So Deb is saying make a list of like 20 of those concrete outcomes that is going to benefit them.
Yeah.
And that's why people invest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't help you anymore. It's a little bit out of my area, but I hope that helped you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
You girls are incredible.
You are too. Good luck with your project.
Yes, good luck.
Just for your own sake, my webpage is michaeldhaines.com.
Got it. I'm following you, actually. I think I followed you, so.
Have a great day.
You too. Okay. Thank you so much. So,
Michael.
I'm just gonna close out this seat, and we've got a few more people that have joined us. We've got Sally, Nori, Karen, and the Meaning Center have joined us. But I just want to check in with you, Deb. It's about 2:05, and we set this up for an hour, but I can go a little further. It's up to you if you want to take any more questions.
Yeah, I've got about 5 minutes. It's
okay.
5:07 in England.
It's a little later. So if anybody that has jumped on to the blab in the last few minutes, we're talking about how to get high-end clients if you're a new coach, and Fahad has joined. So if you have a quick question on how to incorporate that into your practice, you can jump into the seat and ask Deb a quick question. But if Fahad, okay, so I got everybody who joined us. So if nobody's going to jump in, maybe we'll just wrap up and summarize. How about that? We'll just kind of go through. If you have a couple of pointers, this was a great discussion. I appreciate everyone that has contributed in the comments into the video conversation. So maybe, Deb, maybe there's like one takeaway you want to leave people with if they are seeking to you work with high-end clients.
Yeah, I think the one takeaway is to really understand your niche and to understand your clients. I meet a lot of new coaches on a regular basis, and you know, I'm never surprised when coaches come on board, new coaches, and they've got a really burning desire to serve their clients, but they haven't really fully understood that the problems that their clients have. So number one is to really understand your clients, get to grips with what their challenge is and the problems that they have, and make sure that in your package, your high-end package, you have produced a list of client outcomes. So you have a look at the problems, you flip them on their head, and you create a list of at least 20 client outcomes so that your potential clients know exactly what they're paying for. And by having 20 client outcomes, you are going to be in a position of really over delivering in that program and making it really super exciting and really valuable and making it totally priceless. Because if you're resolving the problems that your clients have got and producing a fantastic range of outcomes that you know that they can achieve, then you have created a premium package, a high-end package that's going to really deliver on the problems that your clients have. And that would be my fundamental thing that you need to have a look at if you want to use a high-end package. I hope that makes sense.
I'm welcoming some of the folks that have joined us. It does make sense, Deb, to me. I'm sort of multitasking, and I just want to say to the folks that have joined us in the last 5 minutes, someone was asking some questions that we don't really have time in the next few minutes because Deb needs to go to her next appointment. But this blab, I will leave the recording up, and you can just come and immediately after this, you can just watch the whole thing. And there was a lot of great content. There was some people that asked some great questions. And welcome Sergi, who just joined us. So I appreciate everyone that has come to this blab. And again, watch it at your own convenience. And if you have questions for Deb, you can contact her on Facebook. Deb, say your groups again, the two groups.
Yeah, I've got two groups. I've got high-end clients, even as a new coach. So that's one Facebook group. We've got 50 people in there. It's only been going 2 weeks, and it's really building up numbers nice and fast, which is fantastic. And the other one is called Intuitive Business Hive. So I have two groups. So you're more than welcome to come and join those groups. We give lots of value, have challenges. And there's a free gift in the high-end one, which will tell you all about how to develop a high-end package. So look forward to seeing you in the group.
And I also work with folks who are coaches or creative entrepreneurs, healers, and they want to start getting interviews on podcasts and start getting more visibility for their business. And I also have a group called Share Your Message, so you can reach out to me or join the group. Would love to have you. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording.